The last few videos I've done have talked about the importance of building relationships and listening to other people, listening properly. And what can stop us from building relationships and from listening? Well, it's our ego. We need to be able to control our ego, to stay humble. Very few things are as dislikable as an ego that's out of control. Arrogance and the deceit that comes with arrogance. It's very dislikable. And it's not just a barrier to relationships, it's a barrier to listening, and it's a barrier to learning, to cooperation. When we have an ego that's out of control, we don't listen to other people because we think we're always right. We think our ideas are the best. People might have solutions, suggestions, proposals, criticism, valid criticism. And if we're too arrogant, we won't listen to it. And I make the point repeatedly on our IOSH Managing Safely training, whether it's the e-learning course, the video e-learning course, or our Managing People Effectively course. We make the point repeatedly that you have to listen and you have to build relationships. And I especially have to do this when I'm doing classroom training, because one of the problems with classroom training is that people can get so motivated, so revved up to go out and fix all of the issues with their workplace after the training, that sometimes they can be a bit like a bull in a china shop. So one of the last things which I tell them before they leave the room is say, just calm down, take it easy. I know there's a lot to fix, but you must not go around fixing every safety issue in your workplace at the cost of the relationships. Because you don't make the workplace safer by burning the relationships. You need those relationships to make the workplace safer, to get the changes introduced. And going around pointing out everything that's wrong, every hazard, every risk, every little legal breach and so on, however minor it is, that isn't conducive to good relationships. So sometimes you have to take it a little bit slower and bring people with you rather than alienating them. And sometimes that means not pointing out things that are wrong, but maybe asking why they're doing things in that particular way. It might be a very good reason for it. So how do we control our ego? Well, here's a suggestion. Get your hands dirty. Do some of the frontline work. One of the things I learned to do was do some of the work that my people do, or some of the frontline people do. So if you're in a factory, spend some time on the line. If you're in a warehouse, take your turn to sweep the yard. If you're in a call center, spend some time on the telephones. You know, whatever frontline means to you, you should do something. You don't have to do lots of it, but do it regularly. Maybe do one shift every quarter, or maybe a couple of hours a month. You know, most of your time should be spent managing, obviously, but do enough just to kind of get your hands in. Now, this will remind you how difficult the job is. It reminds you of the challenges and of the challenges that you're expecting people to face every single day. That in itself is humbling. It's also humbling to realize that there's a lot more to this job than you realize. There's a lot to learn about it. You realize just how much there is to do, and how much some of the technical challenges, the technical knowledge that some of your people have. So that's humbling in itself, but also you'll learn a lot about the job, and that will mean that future proposals, future initiatives, future risk assessments, future SOPs, whatever you're involved in, those things will be rooted in fact, they'll be rooted in experience. And people will find it more difficult to pull the wool over your eyes as well, because you'll know what the job involves really, rather than in theory, sat behind your desk. So you'll be much harder to con. And your participation will be noticed. People will respect you for giving it a go. You'll gain credibility, and you'll get valuable time one-on-one with people doing the job, time to build relationships, to find out more about them, what they like and what they don't like, and how they need support, and so on. So there are other benefits other than just controlling your ego. So there we are. So lesson for today: if you want to build relationships and if you want to listen, control your ego, get your hands dirty, get on the front line, do some real work, as I call it. And anyway, just on a side note, I've made a decision recently. My very last NEBOSH General Certificate course will be starting next month. I've made the decision that this is going to be the last one for the foreseeable future. So I'll drop the link in the comments below, but if you know anyone who would like to sit a NEBOSH General Certificate with me, next month is going to be the last chance. So there we are. Anyway, enjoy your day and enjoy your week. Take care, everyone.